Hello traders, welcome to marketaddiction.net. I'm going to do another bit of an educational video here. Hopefully you watched my previous video on how I use finviz.com to find potential short squeeze candidates within strong sectors. I'll post a link to that in the comments section, so if you haven't seen it, you can be sure to check that out. So this is a trade that I did recently. I posted it on my blog as I'd entered it. Also followed it on Twitter. I am also on Twitter if you would like to follow my trades there. There's a link on the right side of my webpage at marketaddiction.net. If you click on live trades, it'll link you to my Twitter page. But anyway, looking at HOV on the daily chart, what I did was, well, first let me scroll back a little bit here. I cut off some of the recent data. Whenever I was looking at this setup, it looks something like this. So what I did was, I looked at it here and said, well, it's making higher highs, higher lows on the daily chart. The 50-day moving average is starting to turn up. The 10-day is above the 20-day, which is above the 50-day. So these are all stacked nicely for potential another leg up on the upside. So this basically told me that the stock is starting to enter an uptrend on a longer term time frame. So then what I do is I narrow down to the shorter term time frames, like looking at this 60-minute chart here. So basically the way this looked on the 60-minute chart was something like this. And then I posted an entry above this level here, because looking at this the intermediate term time frame, which I'm basically a very short-term swing trader, I guess you could say. So looking at the 60-minute chart is how I get my intermediate term bias. So anyway, I'm looking at the 60-minute chart. I see that it's making these higher highs, higher lows. Just put in this higher low here, and it looked like it was getting ready to break out, above this little bit of resistance here. So this looked like a perfect time for a long entry. So what I did was I posted this trade to my blog. I entered it right here. I had my stop right around this level, and then in order to get a profit target, of course I had to go back out to the daily chart, which I had around the $2.70 area, which is right around in here. I think I had posted something like 280 on the chart, but whenever I enter these, my exits usually aren't precise, because a lot of times what can happen is you'll have it run up, almost touch your target, and then pull back off. So you can't really take these too literally. And a lot of times I'll exit before it hits my target if it's starting to show weakness, before it gets there. But anyway, what I was doing was I was looking at this area. This looks like a key area here on the daily chart. You can see that it acted as resistance before. Then once the stock broke down through it last November, it came up to it a couple different times. This 275-ish level, and it acted as resistance. After it was broken support. So it looked like that. A run up to this level, shouldn't be too hard for the stock to do. Back up to this key level in here. So I'd set my target here, entered it when it broke above this little bit of resistance, and I'd posted on Twitter that I was getting out of this position right in here, I believe it was. I got out at $2.70. So this was a really good trade based off of the methods that I used in my previous video of finding a stock with a very high short interest, and there's still a high short interest in this stock. As you can see, the volume also helps to show that, because on this break up here we had this high volume, and it was showing a good volume pattern before, because we had this run up on good volume, consolidation on low volume, another move up on higher volume, and we was having lower volume whenever we was having this consolidation where I entered, and just as we was starting to break out. So this was a perfect setup in here, basically. So that's why I wanted to highlight this one, to show you a little bit in more detail as far as how I trade, and to give you an example of how the method I used in my previous video can work out to your benefit. So be sure to check out my other video, and I hope this was helpful and you learned a little bit from it. So be sure to check out my website at www.marketaddiction.net. Stop back and have a great day.